Hey, what's going on, everybody? I hope you are having an amazing day. And I am very thrilled to finally announce the project I have been working on. And this has taken me over a year of learning how to code, getting everything right, getting the algorithms to all fire on the same cylinders for everything to be working perfectly. Now, this is the most powerful stock options algorithm in the entire world, especially for retail traders. There's nothing quite like this. Anywhere you will search and try to find, it will not come close. I have 6 different algorithms and APIs literally feeding this thing data that you cannot comprehend. And I'm going to get straight into this right now. Now, as we see, when you first load in, we are at the screener. So as soon as you log in, as soon as you pull up the home page, you'll see the screener. Now, the reason why this is so powerful is because a lot of traders, whether you're a beginner or advanced, do not know which one to look at on any given day. So this screener, based off of if you want to do intraday or swing trading, which you can see at the very top left of this, there's an intraday and a swing trading setting. Now, whichever one you choose to do based off of your style and your risk, you can add that and then run the screener, which by default, it is a Smart Money Concepts / ICT Pro, which is finding the best stocks at key levels of support and resistance, supply and demand, liquidity sweep, has a very strong trend and is on a pullback. All of the very best price action strategies and things that you look at in Smart Money Concepts and ICT, and it finds the very best stocks for that criteria, as well as automatically filters it for if it is an actionable day trade or if it is a swing trade, which means for a day trade, you can look at it and see that it is a 0 to 5 DTE, and it looks for 1-to-1 risk to reward trade setups, meaning that you're just looking for base hits. Very, very easy, very simple, at a very high probability. Then if we switch this over to the swing trading mode, you will see that it changes it completely from 0 to 5 DTE, and now it is going to switch it to a 7 to 14 DTE, targeting higher risk to reward setups and targeting nicer, cleaner moves. Normally with swing trading, this will be the higher probability. The only issue with a lot of beginners and a lot of people that are day trading is that you will most likely not hit your full take profit in one single day. So this is definitely for people that are willing to hold overnight, willing to, go into a little bit more drawdown, because you are not trying to make money right now. You are willing to be in the market for a day, maybe 2 days, up to 3 is normally the time frame that it takes. So now let me go ahead and run these scans so that you can see exactly how it works. I'm going to run the intraday, and then I'm going to open up this browser, run the swing one, and we are going to let it just do its thing. Now, keep in mind, if you peep at the bottom right hand side, you will see at the time of me doing this was 6:59 a.m. Central Standard Time, meaning that the markets were not open, okay? And we can see here that in the logs, it takes account of the times that you run the scans and, which type of mode you were in, whether it was intraday or swing. And, it takes all of this stuff into consideration. Now, we see here, I ran the intraday scanner, and we can see all this stuff that pops up. Look, it even takes into consideration that it is pre-market, which is perfect for traders, because not only does it take into consideration that it's pre-market, which it is right now, but also when you run this scan in the beginning of the New York session, it'll automatically calculate it as being, opening bell, big volatility, big moves coming in, and it automatically calculates all the settings, all the parameters, what the AI is looking for based off of historical data, forward testing data I have done, as well as just the overall characteristics of whatever stock or ETF that you're trading. And it does that by, if there's a lot of volatility, there's a lot of news coming out, and it's the opening bell, you can expect breakouts or liquidity sweeps or things like that. As well as when you run this in the midday, it will also calculate that and understand that, yes, there's normally a lot of chop around this time. So it'll give you, the very best bounce plays off of key levels, off of order blocks, and all the way up to power hour. All those type of things that it takes into consideration that a lot of traders don't account for. So now, as we could look down, you can see all the different data that is doing. Market overview. It gives you full overview of SPY and QQQ, the VIX. It gives you a full sector analysis, how each and every sector is performing right now. And because this was a pre-market scan, this was yesterday's move and pre-market. So it takes into consideration all that stuff, all the different sectors, how they perform. Now look, very top of the list on the actionable stocks, we got SLB, JP Morgan, Bank of America. Look at that. SLB is 100 grade. That is a 100 grade. So that is basically telling you that for intraday, SLB should be at the top of your watch list. We got some more tickers down here, but as we can see, this one here at Disney is a 86 score. I normally only focus on stocks that give a 90 or above, especially this one here. Look, it's saying it's 100. We got to pull that up on the watch list. So there's an example of another trade that I was in before, but let's pull SLB up here so we can take a look at it. All right, let it load. And also inside of the tutorial section, I'm going to have a full list and settings of all the trading view indicators that I have that lets the AI do its thing, but it kind of gives it some training wheels in the sense that when you have all of these things mapped out for it, then it works even better. So depending on what strategy you want to trade, depending on how you want to look at things, giving the AI things to help it be better is always going to benefit you in the end. Okay, so that's very important to take into consideration. Now, the very cool thing about this, that this alone right here stands out from any other place that you will find, is that you can actually screenshot and save multiple time frames. So it can do a full top-down analysis, which is super powerful, okay? Now, just showing you where my tutorial's at, showing you a list of some of the indicators. Now, what I do when you run this, right, for intraday trading, you will take a screenshot of the daily chart, 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute, 5 minutes. So you do a full screenshot of all of those charts so that it does a top-down analysis. Now, what that does is when you upload this, it will scan and search and, basically dissect every single chart and every single time frame that you upload all the way down to the 5 minute for intraday. And instead of just only doing technical analysis, which is very important, we also have filters for data. We have extra filters for insider transactions, institutional flow, dark pool, whale transactions. Basically, it also lists out whether or not somebody made a very big order in buying or selling this thing, which is way more confluence in the direction. So we can see here, you take screenshots of those charts, upload them into the chart section, and look at all of the research this is doing for you. Very easy, very simple. This is perfect for beginner traders right here. Everything that we're doing right now, as far as running the screener, getting the stocks, uploading the charts, very, very beginner friendly stuff right here. And we can see, look at the level that it is doing all of this at. You will not find this anywhere else. And I'm very confident in really pushing this out there. I would love to get other really, really dedicated traders to try this out. Please reach out to me if you would want to try this out, and so that I could get some feedback from you, especially if you are a veteran trader. You've been trading for 5+ years and you are trying to find something like this, because this is something that you only get if you work at like a hedge fund or something. And look, now this is the swing trading stocks that it gave. So this is from the swing scanner, and you can see, look at the different stocks and ETFs it gives, as well as the grades. When you run the swing scanner, you can see higher probability setups, higher probability grades that it gives you. Look at how many hundreds there are. And then Google, SPY, all these things are above 90, and we got 3 different stocks or ETFs with 100. And we can see right here as we keep going on, it shows you, look at the ATR value, smart money concepts, whale accumulation, all these things. Look at the level of data that it does for every single stock or ETF that you get from the scanner. Now let's pull back up our SLB. We ran this, we uploaded all of the screenshots that we got, put it in here, and look at what it's saying. SLB put entry around 50.75, take profit 50.25, and look at all of this data. Look at this deep research, stock news, no significant company specific news. It gives a full sector context. It gives market sentiment, key levels, everything that you could possibly ask for in a highly professional algorithm for stocks and options. Look at all this different data that it gives you. Now, the biggest thing that is going to be a game changer for this algorithm is look at the smart money flow confluence. This is amazing. Not only did it give us a put signal, but the smart money, whale accumulation, all of this stuff is pointing towards bearish. Look at all this stuff right here. Significant insider selling on January 26, 2026. CFO Stefan sold 61,000 shares, around $3 million, reducing the position by over 20%. This is game changing. This is amazing. These are things that you would not even think about as just a retail trader. And it's giving you all this sauce right here. Look at this. And even at the bottom, you see the confluence analysis confirms. It says, oh my goodness, you can't find this anywhere else. And this is the power of staying disciplined, staying patient, and really, really loving what you do, because I have been searching for something like this forever, ever since I started trading, and nothing else is like this one. So I'm hoping that this helps everybody else out too. Look at this. Look at the level of research. There's nothing like this. Look, it gives you the quick context, the single trade thesis, why we are hopping into this. Look at this. Following a major rejection from the higher time frame supply zone, as well as remember that insider transaction, where the smart money is going. Now, it gives you the market entry price, right? It's telling you hop in around $50.64 a share, but the optimal price is $50.75. Basically saying that, yes, you could hop in right now, but it would be better if you wait for a slight pullback towards this area. So if we go back to the charts, we could pull this up. We could mark it out to where we could showcase where the 50.75 is. And also, this is because I have extended trading on that. It looks like that, where it's showing that the price is not 56. Okay, so there we go. See, now we change it back to regular. The stock has actually gapped down. So the closing price from yesterday was that 50.64, and because it is pre-market, that thing is gapping down crazy. But if we look, the optimal entry price was 50.75. So let's go here. Let's mark out 50.75, show you where it's at, right below this fair value gap, right below that bearish fair value gap. And now we could lock in the stop loss. Let's lock in the stop loss that is given. And look, above the recent highs. It's above the highs. Very high probability setup right here. And then the take profit is 50.25. Let's lock that in. Look at that, right at the sell side liquidity. Anybody that trades, anybody that's been doing this for a long time can tell you that this is a very high probability setup. Look at the dump that the market did the day prior. Look at the accumulation it's doing. It's just kind of chopping around. And there's a lot of selling momentum, especially with that insider selling from the smart money. So now we could lock this in. We could set our alert at the entry so that when price pulls back towards this area, we can automatically just hop into our puts, set our alerts for the stop loss and take profit, and let the market do its thing. This is built in a way where there is no arguing. There is no reason for us to try to interject and, push our beliefs and go against the data, because it does it all for you. Now, look, this is one of the swing trades that I took yesterday. This is one that I ran in the software, and it gave me this exact put trade. This is on DIA on the Spider ETF. Now, let me go back here so that you can see, because I also have a history log where you can see all of the previous trades that you run. We can see right here. Look, this scan was at 11:39 a.m. the prior day, okay? This was February 12th, and today is February 13th. So you can see that I ran this yesterday. And look, this was the time that it was given. Okay, it gave me this at 11:39. Okay, it gave this to me right there. Now, I was not able to hop into this right away because I was at work. But luckily, when I came back and I pulled up the charts, I was able to see that it was still around my area of entry. So I hopped in. I didn't get filled exactly where it told me to put my entry, but it was super close, and I followed the data. Now we can see right off rip, as soon as I hopped into this trade, it immediately went into drawdown. But that's the name of the game. When you're trading, luckily it was able to push back. Look, we can see right here too. It gave us this exact trade. Dia put entry around 496.15, give us the take profit, give us the stop loss. Does all the same level of research that it did on the other stock on SLB. It gives you everything. It does all of this for you every single time. It's not just a generic, it just gives you the same thing over and over. No, this does a real deep dive on every single thing, every given day. Nothing is ever going to be the same. This is getting real data. It's getting real institutional flow, and it's giving you real analysis that you can take into your trading. Now, look, we can see here that the market price that it gave us was 496.15. I didn't quite get filled there. I got filled a little bit lower, but immediately hopped into this thing when it came back towards that area. And unfortunately, it did go into drawdown for a little bit, but the stop losses and the take profits are so precise that I rarely ever lose a trade. Even with this, especially with the swing trading setting, I rarely ever lose a trade. And I'm not just saying that because I'm trying to, make it sound like it's better than it is. Like, no, I'm very serious that this is the most powerful thing that you can possibly use. Especially, look at this. Now the pre-market gap down is right by our take profit. So I should be able to open this up as soon as the session opens and close out for a really nice profit. And this is just being on the right side of probabilities. You're not going to be able to predict every single trade perfectly. Yes, you are going to lose some, but the point is to be on the right side of probabilities and be on the right side of the data. There's no point in arguing with the data. Now, let's go ahead and pull up the other trade. Oh, wait, I just pulled up the SLB trade that we just ran. Here, one second. Let me pull up the trade from yesterday as well. I want to show another live example of me actually using this. Now, let's pull up our SPY trade from yesterday. We could see this one too. This one was ran right before 10 a.m. yesterday. Now, look, we're seeing this here, a setup, another put trade. So this SPY trade was also a put, and we can see dumped. Look at this move down. This was a perfect trade as well. And yes, if you traded yesterday, then you know that the market just dumped, okay? So there was no real sketchy, going into drawdown. The market just dumped, and this algorithm was able to pick up on that. This was none of my doing. None of this was from my thoughts, from my research, nothing. I got the data. I ran the screener. It told me that SPY was of the top stocks or ETFs to run that day. I uploaded the charts, and it gave me this setup. And we can see that it works. It works really good. This is another one that I ran. Let's see. This was on SMH. This is another stock that was given yesterday. And we can see here, yes, SMH. Look, it was ran at 9:39 a.m. yesterday, the prior day. So this is all real trades in the real market. And you can see that, I didn't go into replay mode and I didn't run this before. You can see the time that I ran it at. You can see that I ran this scanner at 9:39 a.m. and then the market proceeded to dump. These are all real trades. I have been working on this for a year. I have only been doing this in my trading for the last 2.5, 3 months, where I have been using this in the live market, tweaking it and making it absolutely perfect. And I gotta say that I have everything working as of the last month, and it has just been me testing it out, seeing how it works in the live markets, making sure everything works absolutely perfect. And I am super excited to finally push this out there for everybody to use. The only way that this is going to not work for you is if you fight the data and your emotions as a human being get involved into this, because as long as you are on the right side of probability, you're following the data, you're making sure that you're running these scans at the right time of day, meaning if you are an intraday trader, you should run the scanner at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Okay, whatever trade it gives you, that's the one trade for that time. So whether it wins or loses, you will never revenge trade. You will never hop into another one until around 11:30 to 12 Central Standard Time, and then you will get a midday trade. So basically, you should get one trade for the opening bell, one trade for midday, one trade for power hour at the end of the day. If you are trading more than 3 times a day, then you have a real big issue with your emotions. And that's something that you need to work on, because even though you run these scans, if the trade setup that it gives you is anywhere between a 60 to like an 85, you shouldn't even be taking the trade anyway. So you're not going to take every single trade based off of the data, based off of everything. When you upload the charts and it does that analysis, it's going to give you a grade. No matter what it is, out of 100, you should only be taking trades, I would recommend, between an 86 to 100. And even with an 86 to 90, those are ones that you could take some small risk on. Don't throw the whole account at it, and don't have super high faith in it. Now, of course, you should never throw your whole account at it, but those 86 to 90 grade trades, those are ones that you can take with caution. Anything from 90 to 100 is a very high probability trade. Those are the ones that what the data, the technical analysis, everything is screaming at you to take this. Okay, so don't revenge trade. Don't let your emotions get in the way of you losing money, because I promise you, if you use this every single day at the right times of day and you do not revenge trade, over a month time, you will be profitable. Now, especially if you swing trade, you will definitely come out on top, because the trade setups are always a lot higher probability. Okay, with swing trades too, you might not even hop into a trade for 3 days in a row. But same thing, if you run this for a month, I promise you that you will be profitable if you just follow the data and let the numbers work for you. That is the most important thing, is letting the data work. Do not fight it. Don't try to make up things that aren't there. Don't try to revenge trade. And I've said that multiple times, because that is the biggest reason why retail traders lose money in the long term. Either you're risking way too much on any given trade, or you do not know how to walk away. You revenge trade. You take 50 trades in a day just because you lost one, and you wipe out all the profit that you made that entire week or month. So just follow the numbers, follow what this is telling you, because even if you trade by yourself, there's no possible way that you will be able to not only do technical analysis, finding the proper, smart money concepts and everything, but also knowing what research to do. And now look, for all of you expert traders out there, right? I have built this for you as well, because if you like to do your own technical analysis, you like to find whatever stock you like doing, whether you only trade SPY, you only trade NVIDIA, whatever, or if you are an expert and you want to, use the screener to find stocks for you based off of your strategy, you can do that. I've even put an Ask AI button in here where whatever strategy you trade, whether it's, Fibonacci retracements or EMA crossovers, you can tell the AI exactly what your strategy is, and it will find a stock meeting that criteria, okay? Then you can go to the research side and literally type in any ticker for you to scan. So for instance, let's just do NVIDIA real fast. Let's let it do its thing. But if you are an expert at technical analysis, you know how to trade, you know when to enter into things, but you get wiped out of trades because of some unforeseen move that you weren't even tracking, and then it's not till after the fact you realize, oh man, this stock had news on it. The owner had some issues, or they got into a big lawsuit, or they had a very good breakthrough invention, or something went on where this stock made such a crazy move that nobody seen coming unless you are tracking all of this other data. So now we see, look, just as an example, right now we ran NVIDIA in here, gives you a full deep dive research, the company news and catalyst. Look at this too. It says NVIDIA's data center unit, driven by AI demand and Blackwell shipments, is positioned to help the company achieve its $65 billion quarter four fiscal 2026 revenue target, with quarter three fiscal 2026 revenues already hitting a record $57 billion. That's amazing. Now look at financial analysis. Latest earnings on November 19th showed quarter three fiscal 2026 EPS growth. Let's see upcoming events, competitive landscape. NVIDIA leads in AI data, smart money flow. Look at all this different stuff. It tells you whether or not people are buying or selling the heck out of this thing. Look at that. Director Mark Stevens sold 350,000 shares on December 5th. $63.6 million in total that this person sold. Dark pool. Kingdom Financial Group accumulated NVIDIA shares worth $3.7 million. Wow, look at all this stuff that is doing for you. Institutional activity, growth drivers and risks. It tells you right here that, data center dominance to $65 billion plus in quarter four, market context. Now, here it is, trading game plan. Based off of all that data that it just did for you, it is telling you right now that no matter what strategy that you are trading, you should be looking bearish. No matter what it is. Now, you don't have to follow this, of course. You do what you do, but this is just feeding you this bias based off of data and things that you will not normally do research on. This is hedge fund trading floor grade stuff that is giving you right now. Now, look, it's even saying probability assessment high. This is very high probability. It's telling you that based off of the data, based off of the numbers, based off of institutional, insiders, this is the move to expect, is a bearish move. Now, if you're going to do your own technical analysis, then it's up to you to figure out which stop loss, take profits, all that stuff to use. But basically, you should be bearish on this stock at this time. Now, So thank you so much for taking the time to go through this with me. I hope that you find value in this and you actually check this out and use it yourself. It would mean the world to me for you to use this and let me know what you guys think. Also, for all my futures traders out there, big news for you. I am going to incorporate futures and prop firm style trading in here for all you guys. Now, it's going to work exactly the same as far as you can run the screener, and based off of the strategies that you trade, it will return the very best futures ticker to use at that time. Whether it's oil, whether it's NQ, whether it's Bitcoin futures, whatever it is, it's going to tell you the very best one to use for that day based off of the strict criteria that you set. Now, I am very excited to get this ball rolling. I've been working on this for a very long time. I myself trade stock options, so I built this for me to use right now. But I know that there's a really big market on the futures side, and I promise this will work exactly the same and even better, because I will have it coded for Asia session, London session, New York pre-market, opening bell, midday, all that stuff. It's going to work just the same as far as quality and just overall execution quality. So be on the lookout for that. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.